Hey, what's good, y'all? Okay, so I didn't put no money or nothing like that on the fight. You know, luckily, because I probably would have bet with Canelo due to the politics of boxing and all of this stuff with the war and Russia and Bivol being from Russia. I'm thinking that if it goes to decision and he doesn't knock down or knock out Canelo, that he's not going to win. And apparently, I was wrong. Because all three judges decided unanimously for Dimitri Bivol. I thought he won, of course. I definitely thought he won. I just didn't know how the scorecards were going to look. But, I heard a couple people talking about, Bivol never let off Canelo. That's how he's such and such. For one, from what I saw, he kept his composure. He picked his spots. He didn't waste any punches or anything like that, with Canelo. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like he tried to time Canelo as well. He could have, me personally, I feel that if he had a better jab, he possibly could have dropped Canelo. What I didn't like was the fact that he had Canelo hurt and had Canelo on the ropes a few times and back straight up off Canelo. And people talking about he kept the pressure on Canelo. Yo, man, he acted like he was giving Canelo a little too much respect, man. You got a man hurt. You supposed to finish him. Listen, man, people sleeping on Benavidez. David Benavidez would have beat the shit out of Canelo worse than him. Worse than him. And I got money on it if that fight ever happened, but that ain't happening. Canelo don't want that smoke. He ain't gonna respect Canelo. He gonna beat the brakes off. He gonna beat Canelo to the body. Man, bro, he ain't playing no, David Benavidez ain't playing no games. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're not sold on him, that's fine. That's your motherfucking opinion. It is what it is. You want to bet? If that fight ever happens, I'll take anyone's bet. David Benavidez over Canelo. Any day, any time. And I will be willing to accept that loss. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. If I lose, I lose. But I would definitely put money on that fight. So, I don't know why Canelo was speaking Spanish after the fight, like he can't speak English and shit. But whatever, Canelo had his hands down. He gassed out by like the 8th round. He was breathing with his mouth open. I don't know how he can take shots like that and not get dropped. The shots he was taking, his face should have been way more messed up in that. So allegedly, I think it's safe to say, in my opinion, from what I know about these things, allegedly that this kid was juicing and still couldn't beat Bivol. Bivol was hitting him with some clean shots with his hands all the way down, bro. This dude Bivol hit kind of hard, but he couldn't drop Canelo Alvarez, a naturally smaller fighter, and was purposely backing up off of him every time he got hurt. I guess I'm the only one who saw that shit. Ain't nobody else see Canelo Alvarez on the ropes at least 3 times in the fight and Bivol back up off of him and bring the fight to the middle of the ring. What the fuck was that? And that's another reason why I don't like betting on Canelo fights. But if it's a rematch, I'll bet on Canelo. I'll put some money on a rematch. They're gonna do something to make sure that Canelo wins the second one if he didn't win the first one. Now that I do believe, and I could be wrong then too, but that's the fight I'm gonna bet on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I feel that it's a better chance of him winning the second one, being as though I saw how the politics were now in the first one. Now that I see the judges ain't on no bullshit and they ain't gonna try to side with Canelo like they did, like CJ Ross did in the Floyd Mayweather fight, which is no longer a judge. Now that I see that, I feel safe putting my money on something, and I won't feel bad about losing because if as long as everything's fair, I feel more comfortable now betting my money. You know what I'm saying? And so you got Eddie Hearn at the end of the fight. Why do you guys talk about they trying to big Canelo up? Oh yeah, he takes these risks to move up in weight. He takes risks and he fights guys that he could lose against. Bullshit. He picked who he thought was the weakest link at 175. He didn't pick Beterbiev or anybody. Like, I don't know if it's just because this kid had a belt or what. But I think Beterbiev is harder than Bivol. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And you got this other guy, Smith Jr. I don't know much about him. But so you got Eddie Hearn talking about it's a rematch clause and trying to big up Canelo like, oh, he only lost because the dude was too big. Well, didn't Canelo call Bivol out? Bivol didn't call out Canelo last time I checked. Now, if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me, but Canelo cherry picked and that shit went wrong. When cherry picking goes wrong. Because that's what the fuck happened. You got Eddie Hearn talking about what this kid say? He dominated at 160. He dominated at 168. Ho, Eddie. Whoa. Canelo did not dominate shit at 160 because he ducked his mandatory in Jamal Charlo and vacated the belts. Stop playing with me, man. It's only come on, man. How long do you think, bruh, all that cherry picking shit? After a while, man, come on, man. You look, man. It is what it is, man. All that cherry picking shit and ducking fighters and ducking Demetrius Andrade, ducking David Benavidez at 168. Come on, man. Stop playing, yo. Stop playing. How is this the best? This is the best Mexican fighter ever. No. If you want to give somebody that title, that would have to go to Chavez. You got to give it to Chavez. Come on, man. Chavez didn't. What I seen, Chavez wasn't ducking no smoke. No excuses. You want to fight? What's popping? You know what I'm saying? That's a champion. That's what you call a real Mexican champion. Not no damn Canelo Alvarez. He's not a real Mexican champion. He lost to Floyd Mayweather when he was 36 years old. Alvarez was 33. They both had the same amount of fights when they fought. They both were undefeated. One had 44-0, if I'm not mistaken, and one had 43. What are you talking about? The same amount of fights, and he had him by a 15-pound weight advantage and couldn't even touch Floyd hardly. He probably hit Floyd 5 times the whole damn fight with flush punches. All that other shit was bouncing off Floyd's gloves. Stop playing, man. Little ass Floyd Mayweather. Hardly no pop on his punches like that. And Canelo couldn't do a damn thing with him, man. I don't give a fuck about that weight. Oh, he weight drained him to 152. So what? He accepted it. He took the fight. He could have said no, but he wanted to fucking pay that. So get out of here. It is what it is. You know? Canelo Alvarez got his ass beat. And he really should have got his ass beat, by a guy that's bigger than him moving up the way he moved up. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to move up to fight a guy that's that big and you think you can beat a guy that's that big, why didn't you fight Jamal Charlo? Why didn't you fight Demetrius Andrade? Why didn't you fight David Benavidez? They're all smaller than this big dude you just lost to. I know why you didn't fight him. And you know why you didn't fight him. He knows why he didn't fight him. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. Y'all casual fans, man, and y'all people that just be repping a fighter just because he's from your country and all of that type of shit, disregarding all the fuck shit that he does. All the ducks. The fact that he don't really got no footwork at all. Canelo Alvarez he never really had no footwork. That's why he don't like fighters with footwork. He like fighters that stand in front of him. Well, for the most of this fight, Dimitri Bivol stood right in front of him. And Dimitri Bivol wasn't even pumping the jab like he should have been pumping the jab. Huh? Because if he did, he probably could have dropped Canelo. Anybody with a nice jab and some good footwork is going to smash Canelo Alvarez, man. If they don't smash him, they're going to beat him. The only reason that Caleb Plant didn't beat him is Caleb Plant didn't have enough pop on his punches for Canelo to respect it. Period. Because he was beating the brakes. He was beating the brakes off Canelo up until like round 9. piecing Canelo ass up. Come on, man. Black Dr. Phil, I'm out.